Hello, Dr. Tawana Worlds by birth, also known as a disruptor. Did you know that millions who grew up in poverty also die in poverty? Have you ever heard the saying, what good can come out of the hood? Well, I'm here to disrupt for just a minute. Yes, I was that little girl that grew up in the hood, grew up in the ghetto, single mother, absent father, eating out of the trash can just to survive. But I was also that girl that determined way back then that I was not going to become a product of my past. And now I help others do the same thing. I'm not a victim, I'm a victor. I help men and women from similar backgrounds find value in their own vault and create wealth from within. What's going on, good people? Let me go ahead and fix my screen real quick. Say hello to everybody. Let me welcome you all in. YouTubers, Facebook cousins, and Instagram fam. What's going on? It is your girl, Dr. Worlds. When I tell y'all I am going to be in and out because I don't even have a full hour, okay? Just wanted to show my face because I'm going to go to the side of the screen in just a moment. Of course, you guys will still be able to see me, but I will be focusing on the presentation, okay? And like I said, I will not be long at all. 60 minutes. I don't even have 60 minutes, okay? But this is my last live. And I just want to come by here and make sure that, and when I say my last live, y'all know I've been putting in that work in these streets trying to get my cousins where they need to be. There is so many people freaking out about not being able to provide for themselves. And the unfortunate part of it all is that it doesn't happen instantaneously. It's slowly for surely. You starting to feel, or you starting to realize you're running out of money to provide the basic needs. Forget the other necessities or the other extracurricular activities you got going on. I'm talking about food. I'm talking about rent. I'm talking about your light bill, your phone bill, Wi-Fi, internet access, so you can, do whatever it is that you do. I'm talking about your basic necessities. And people are freaking out. They are out here literally working 3, 4, 5 jobs. So this live is going to be about some opportunities to put you in a better position. For 6 years, I have been sounding the alarm about all of this that we see. My message has not changed. When people called me crazy, friends walked away. When you get touched by a system, then you have, the tools that you need to go against that very system. And a lot of people have been harmed by this system, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot of sacrifice to be willing to stand up against it and say, not on my watch. When an injustice happens, we usually be like, I'm going to sue and never pursue the suit. Okay? I've learned this a long time ago. You don't get into a brawl back and forth with the police department when they wrong. Okay, you handcuffing me for no reason. Take me down, do my due diligence. Okay, when I get out, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to hit your pockets. I'm going to make a statement. And everybody else is going to be able to see that. So now I take away your victory. Now I take away your power that you held over people that is afraid to do that. We as a nation of people, okay, we should have been and said, what y'all doing in the White House ain't cool. How y'all getting richer and we getting poorer. We begin to see that happening in 2020. So this is my last live going live about trying to show y'all, not me telling y'all. And just coming by here blowing smoke, I could be doing a lot of things. People that know me know I know way too much information, so much that I come here and start giving it away. It's too much for one person to contain. And I just believe that if you do what you got to do, I do what I got to do, she do what she got to do, he do what he got to do, we'll all have enough for each of us. Okay, we'll all have enough for each of us. And not only that, we will make a bold declaration, a bold statement. We will not be controlled. Okay, we will not be given pennies, for paychecks. We will determine where our kids live. what we eat, where we drive, what we drive, where we go, the whole 9 yards, okay? You guys, I say this in all sincerity. The evil that has been planned for not just the American people, for humanity is next level. It's only something that you can imagine being written about, but actually witnessing it for your own eyes. When I tell y'all they doing stuff slowly but surely to just take away all of your freedom, all of your rights, they can't go and say, hey, your freedom is no longer free. They can't go and do that because their constitution, there's laws that protect us. But what they can start doing is revising laws, implementing new laws that wipe away those laws. These people want to track our cars. They want to track every second of our day, of our life, of our moment. These smartphones was not created for convenience. These smart meters, smart monitors, smart door locks, smart everything was not created just for luxury and lifestyle. Y'all got to wake up. You got to wake up. They're not hiding it anymore. And the only person that is responsible for what your tomorrow will look like is you and what you do in this today. I've said this last time and I'm going to say it again here. We're going to start the presentation because I got to go. If you have not shared this, please do so. I come here for everybody, but I know I'm not for everybody. Okay? Everybody can hear the message, but I'm not for everybody. I am for those who God have called me alongside of and them alongside me to fulfill a specific mission and mandate in the earth, and that is to build something that God's people will have as a ark, as a safety, as a refuge, you, your family included, if you one of the builders. Okay? If you want to know what's coming to you tomorrow, pay attention to what's happening to others today. Canada, UK, China, pay attention to what is happening to others today. If you want to know what your tomorrow is going to look like. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and share my presentation. And if you have not shared, please do so. For those over here on Instagram, I tried to turn the camera around the other day and share the presentation. And because it's widescreen, I would have to flip my camera. So I'm going to read from the presentation. I will flip it around now here so you see exactly what I'm talking about. I have to pull it all the way out and then you can't see the text on the screen. So I am going to be going through this presentation really quickly. Here's some last minute opportunities if you want to take advantage of them, but you will be able to hear what is being read, okay? So I can have the freedom of my hands. All right, with that being said, here we go. And I am going to be reading pretty fast because I literally don't have nothing but about 40 minutes. So the title of this last live is Public Access Ends Here. I may come back here later on and just share with you guys. Some of you guys may not understand, but I may come and share a little bit more than what I'm going to share here on this live. Okay. If I have the time, if not, then what you get is what you're going to get. Public access ends here. Let me get this off the screen. Why? Okay, move. Hold on, y'all. Okay. The last free warning, the last cheap entry, the next move goes private. Tonight is going to be bigger than a sale or opportunity. This is not a pitch to my people. This is a call to your promotion. What you are witnessing today is a pivotal moment, the kind that separates those who are paying attention from those who have not been paying attention. The kind that years from now will either look back on with gratitude or with regret. Here's a warning. The window of public access is closing with Dr. Tawana Worlds. What has been freely available is transitioning into an exclusive private ecosystem. And this live is your final notice. Okay? So wake up call. The world has shifted and is continuing to shift beneath your very feet. Staying comfortable in the old way is no longer a neutral choice. Okay? It is a choice that you deliberately choose to fall behind. A transition. Everything that built the foundation publicly is now evolving into something deeper, faster, and more powerful, reserved for those ready to operate at the next level. And here's a final public opportunity. This live is the last time this knowledge, this access, and these prices will ever be available to the general public. After this, the door is closing. The reason why I showed up to begin with, and many of you already know why I showed up. Okay, when they touch my family, then this is my lick back. It's always been my lick back. I've said that from the get go, so I'm sure nobody is not aware of my why. Everybody knows why I'm here. None of this started with no business plan. I did not go to no college. I didn't have no parents that taught me anything about, financial literacy, wealth building, any of that. My son had to die. And honestly, before my son passed away, I was driving over, doing Uber in a very expensive area in Los Angeles known as Beverly Hills. I had to drop somebody off over there, and I drove by one of their schools that said, public education is free, but private education is paid for. When you pay for what you want, we work for you. But when you receive what is free, it works how it wants to, and you just receive whatever it is. And I thought about it because the public school was giving me so much hassle about my child, wanted me to medicate this child. I mean, just every time we went in, there was always a negative report about this child. So I was in the process of going to a lawyer that was in Beverly Hills who won my case. But on the school, that stuck with me. When you go to public school, you can't go in there demanding no better preferable treatment for your child. You can't go in there saying, hey, this is his learning style. This is the way that he should be learning in, and he needs extra resources for this or whatever. No, those teachers are way down. They have 30 students to one teacher. But if I was not poor and had to just accept public school, then I could afford private school. And those teachers work for you because they know if they're not teaching your child the right way, they don't get paid. Public teachers are getting paid by the government. Ain't no special privileges. That's why you always hear about a high graduation rate, a high college, transitional rate, a high, football career, basketball career, sports when they come from private schools. And then after I saw that, and my son died because they forced me to medicate him, I was not mad at God at all. I was not mad at myself because I did everything that I could. I was deceived into believing that they had the best interest for my child, even when I refused to do some of the things they wanted me to, like medicating him. I was threatened in California with jail time for medical neglect after they deceived me into going to go get him evaluated. All in the name of we need to see what's going on with him. So now that he's evaluated and given a diagnosis, all these alphabets, now if you don't medicate him, We can remove him and your other children. And that was just too costly for me. So not only was I poor in my pocketbook, I was poor in my mind. I didn't read, about how to come out of poverty. I didn't have no guidance, no nothing. And when they killed my kid, because after he died and I found out the medication killed him, 4 heart attacks. He suffered on the medication that they forced me to give to him. Made me go do blood draws every month faithfully to make sure he was taking the medication because I gave them a fit. So that is my why. When this system touched my child, that's when I showed up and had to let everybody else know, look, poverty, I absolutely hate it with a passion. Do you understand me? Because it took something from me that I can't ever get back. You still got a chance to save your children. You still have a chance to do what you want to do. You are not a slave. You are a free man and a free woman. And even though you don't see whips and chains, and even though you don't see, cages and plantations, we still on one. It's called the workforce. And it has come and was created to keep you in poverty and to keep you not being able to provide for your own self. You got to think about it. You make money to do what? Pay bills. That's it. Millions are not living, they're struggling, okay? And they're surviving. So none of this started with a business plan. It started with something I could not ignore, a pattern I kept on seeing everywhere I looked. In every community, at every income level, real people, smart people, hardworking people suffering not from lack of effort, but from lack of a blueprint. Families struggle in silence. You know how many dysfunctional homes and how many broken homes, how many children are in prison because of poverty, because of a lack of information, not because they were lazy, not because they lacked talent, but because no one ever handed them the map. They were working harder than anyone in the room and still coming up short. And the system was never designed to explain why. Smart people with no blueprint, intelligence without direction, produces frustration, produces none results. I met brilliant minds stuck in cycles they never chose, because brilliance alone cannot break a system you do not understand. And I always say this, you got to get in the game to learn how to play the game, the rules of the game, so you can win the game. This system is a game. Okay, communities left behind, generations after generations passed down the same limitations, not out of malice, but out of not knowing. The knowledge gap was the wealth gap. Hard work with no ownership. Excuse me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the Virgin Islands. Hello, somebody. Where the hell is our land at? Where the hell is our land at? Huh? Where is our, especially people that look like me? Where is our ownership? Because if we don't own them, they control everything. Do you understand me? They control when you eat, where you live, what you drive, where you can work, how much you can make. When you don't own anything, somebody else do. The hardest workers in America often own the least. Ooh, I'm riled up. I didn't think I was going to get fired up like this, but I am fired up, okay? And I'm not hollering at nobody. I'm very passionate. Like I said, you can't understand my pain if your child, your children, I got 2 kids dead from this system, 2. April 9th, one passed away. April 18th, the other one passed away. And guess what? It was both a medical system. Was both a medical system and took my kids out. But I'm gonna stick to the script because I'm on a time frame. But I will come by here and tell y'all. You know how many lives I've saved, young people lives I've saved because I did not die, but I decided to tell, hey, get your kids off of that. You think they like me? They don't like me. How do you have thousands of followers and 5 or 6 popping in your life? Because they suppress you. That's why I'm gonna ask y'all again. If you ain't shared, share it. And if you shared it, share some more. Okay? Because this is real talk. This ain't tea for gossip or tea to sip. This is truth. That type of tea. Okay? The hardest workers in America often own the least, time traded for dollars with no equity, no leverage, no exit. That reality demanded a response, and that response became my mission. So I taught what I could change lives. Y'all don't even understand. Okay? You don't even understand what kind of bona fide warrior you dealing with right here. To suffer what I have suffered, not just with my children. Y'all don't know my life. My whole life has been about suffering. To suffer what I have suffered was necessary to create me and shape me and mold me to become the 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 unstoppable warrior that could handle the task when God had a need to say, get my people and tell Pharaoh, let my people go. I'm going to show you the way. I'm going to show you the wealth. I'm going to show you my way of wealth. And I want you to declare to the systems, to the pharaohs of your generation, to let my people go. My mission was always bigger than money. Money was never the destination because greed and money was behind my children's death. I could be charging y'all hundreds of thousands of dollars. The only reason I don't give it out to you for free because I am not giving you something for free that costs me. Okay? I will give y'all some free game because ain't nothing wrong with that. But mentorship time to get there faster, to fly first class, you're going to have to invest in yourself because that is the only way out. I'm not teaching you to spend money. I'm teaching you how to invest in the best investment ever in life, and that is in yourself. You are so invaluable, okay? It pisses me off when I get people on my Zooms and when I get them in my rooms and I say, how much can I buy you for? And they get offended with me. Excuse me, I can't be bought. Um, you can't buy me. I am invaluable. How much do you cost? I can't be bought. Well, how the hell the white man and the system and all these other government officials get to buy your time for minimum wage, but you won't let me buy your time? You won't let me buy you. I'm offended at that. Because if you are not for sale to me, then you shouldn't be for sale to nobody else. Nobody else should be buying your time. Because nobody else can give you time back. Your time is valuable. You have the right to put any price tag on your time because you can't get that time back. If I say that I'm going to spend 12 months with you for $150,000, that is well worth my time. Because my time can't be bought. You can't give me back my time. The time I'm going to lose from my family, the time that I'm going to lose doing other things, the time. No. So you have to pay me to redeem the time that I lost, showing you the blueprint and showing you the way. Should nobody be putting no $16 and no $25 on your time per hour? And they want you to work 65 years? Come on, brothers and sisters. This ain't making no sense. And you still ain't got enough to even invest in yourself. You can't use your paycheck as a seed because it's already accounted for. Them bills get ready to jump you as soon as you get your check. After Uncle Sam, a personification, not even a real human being, has taken money out of your labor. Ooh, I know I'm going to have to come back. I'm going to have to come back. This must be the Holy Spirit. This must be the Holy Spirit talking to his people because I promise y'all. I said I'm going to come here. Oh, my God, for 40 minutes. Lord, is we going to get through this presentation. Lord, have mercy. Lord, have mercy. Lord, have mercy. I want y'all to know, if y'all don't know nothing, I can't even explain. I ain't even gonna go on the script. You know what? I'm gonna come back. Okay, I'm gonna come back later on when I got a little bit more time, because I got to teach in a minute. But can I have a conversation with y'all? This ain't even on no sales, nothing. Okay, I can't even explain the type of love that God has for y'all. I can't even explain it. I was minding my business. Okay, when I got saved, all I wanted to do, honestly, was just pray. I prayed and prayed and prayed, and then I began to see God move when I prayed, and that I was just real good with that. I was real good with that because I got to see God move in people's lives because I took the time to pray for them, whether it was me singular or me with a group. Because I took the time to pray for them, I got to see God answer prayers and build my faith to another level. Like, yeah, Lord, you real, because most people don't know my story. I didn't grow up knowing my dad, and my mother was on drugs. And this ain't to shame my mother, especially if you listening, because mother, you know I love you, but it's time for me to speak. And this ain't to bring no shame to you. I love my mother up and down. I have been silent for a very long time protecting my mother. But I grew up in a household where my mother had trauma from her mother. And that trauma became my trauma. So I had a very, very hard childhood in life. And my grandmother taught me that God was this good God. You know, whenever I got in trouble, whenever I needed him, I'm supposed to thank him when I wake up, thank him when I go to sleep. You know, he's my best friend. And that is how my grandmother taught me. And that was my belief. So when I seen things happening to my mama, men putting their hands on my mama, you know, running up in our house, taking our stuff, I'm like, God, where you at? Could you please help my mama? I'm a young girl. God, could you help my mama? Could you make this stop? Could you take this away? Could you help my mom? And he did not. And it got worse. And I'm like, God, where is you at? My grandma said you was a good God. Where are you? So by the time I turned 12, 13, I was angry at God and literally cursed him. I didn't even know what cursing was, but the demon did, because I cursed him. Told him how real he was, and whoop-de-whoop. And when I tell you my life went to hell, it went to hell from that very moment. I was standing in my bed just bamming the roof with a broom. You're evil. You're this. I don't even know where the words came from. I don't even like mentioning it, but it's real. It's my testimony. I cursed God. And from there, I joined gangs. I became a very dark individual. Ain't nobody going to protect me from all this rape and all this molestation and all this stuff. I'm going to protect myself by all means necessary. And I will take you and all your family members out. It was a wicked, evil mind. And then going to go get jumped in, and then having those so-called homies have your back felt real good. Okay, I demanded respect, man. I came a long ways. By the grace of God, and I can do nothing but testify, because your girl came a long ways. Your girl came a long ways. I don't even recognize myself, because I came a mighty long way. My life went to hell, literally. That moment, how I ended up getting saved. Most people don't know 5 of my children, 5 of them, their fathers R-worded me. And I decided to keep my children because I asked God at 13, could you please give me kids? I don't even know why I asked God at 13, could he give me kids? I didn't know what love was, so I wanted to feel love. I just felt like a little girl lost in a big world, unloved. So I wanted to feel love. And how he gave them to me, I mean, I just felt like, God, you gave them to me. I'm a young girl having children at 15, pregnant, 16, giving birth. I'm a young girl pregnant. And 5 of my children is a product of rape. And by that time, I was used to it because it didn't happen to me starting from the age of 4 or 5 years of age all the way on up to that time. So I'm like, maybe this is my purpose, that this is what people are supposed to do. I hated myself. I hated my body. I hated the way God created me. I hated everything about everything. And that turned me into a very dark person. But when God gave me children, I knew God heard my prayer. I had just, you know what I'm saying? Like I had just cursed God. And if that's the way you're going to save my life, then please give me children. And I promise you that I will take care of them. I will raise them. I will love them. I will protect them. Nothing will never happen. And he did. In the way that he did it, nobody could ever understand. Not even myself. But he did. And I love those kids. Like, unconditional love. My relationship with God was taught through my children and through my parenting. When I used to be like, all these kids don't listen, he'd be like, you don't listen to me. All these kids is rebellious. You turn a mirror on me. So are you. When you want your kids to obey, you must obey me. When you line up in order, so I learned how to love God and worship God through my children. And how I came back to know him was when I had the first boy who passed away, me and him died. I had an encounter with a whole entire demon. Came in my hospital room to kill me, take my last breath, literally. And if it wasn't too much information, I will show you the scars because I got them to prove. Me and this boy died. And I told God with my tears, because I didn't have no oxygen to save with my breath. He removed his breath from me and allowed the very enemy that I had went and joined gangs and served and pledged allegiance and did all his dirty, dark, demonic, evil deeds and being. He allowed that spirit to get me. And I told God in my tears, if you real, save me. If you real, save me. Because all those times I prayed to you about helping my mother, you did it. But if you real, save me. And save my child, and he did. And that was the beginning of my walk with God. I vowed to God that I will give you my whole entire life. Please keep your hand of protection on my children. I don't want my children to go through anything that I went through. I covenanted that with you. And you know who the enemy targeted the most? My children. The whole time they was growing up, he would send people to bully them, send people to put their hands on them. I'm telling my children to do the right thing. Go tell, okay? Go report it. We're going to pray about it. They studied being bullied. They studied being tormented at school. I'm telling them, look, go do the right thing. And now they're becoming envious and bitter to me because it's like, you crazy. You keep telling us to go to church, woo-de-woo, pray to God, and nothing is happening. They still keep attacking us. We're poor. They're laughing at us because we poor. Now, they wasn't piss poor, but they were poor. We were poor. Ain't no shame in my game. It was passed down generation. My mama was poor. My grandmother was poor. Nobody owned any assets. Nobody owned any wealth. Nobody even taught it. Nobody. Okay? People used to be glad when people passed just so that they can get some life insurance. Poor. But I always knew as a child, I knew poverty was wrong. I knew all of this stuff, I knew even though I was going through it. So my whole life has been suffering. My whole life. But I'm the woman for the job. All of that suffering is what made me who I am today. But when they touch my child, you can't cause a worse suffering than that. Flesh of your flesh, bone of your bone. And for those who have children, you couldn't even imagine. Close your eyes and imagine not being able to see your child ever again. And no, nobody didn't smoke my kids. I wouldn't be here talking to you. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all, okay? I'm not a fake Christian. I'm a kingdom believer, okay? I love God with all of my heart. So that is the only reason why I'm here. Because I am a kingdom ambassador. I'm not a religious zealot or some fruitcake, okay? I'm not. And I'm not calling no Christians that. But I am not one of them. I'm not. Somebody would have smoked my kids or some gang members. Listen, I would have been in prison. Okay, like Tory Lanez on a prepaid phone call or something. That would have never, ever, ever flew with me. And even though my boys are dead, I am grateful to God that they went to sleep and died, because that's what his word promised. That I give rest to the righteous and they go to sleep, they don't die. So my 15-year-old that was poisoned by Adderall, okay? He laid down on the basketball court and went to sleep. And my 21-year-old who was poisoned by fentanyl, he laid down too and went to sleep. That's how he died. From a system. So this was never about no money. This was never about no money. This is my lick back, and I want you to hear me clearly. I told you a piece of that story about my childhood and some of it. If I sat here and told y'all my life story, if I wrote a book about my life story, it would be an encyclopedia, literally. I don't even know if there will be enough time in a day or maybe 10 days to tell that story. But what I do know is that I am not a victim. I am a victor. I overcame and still overcoming. But I bet you ain't no chicken in my blood. I'm the woman for the job. God had to allow those things to happen to come up against what? A system. You think God would allow a system to touch me and he give me the power to crush his head? He didn't give me the power to dethrone, to disrupt. You think when I come by here, I'm just saying some fancy words? Hey, my name is Dr. Tawana Worlds, the disruptor. No, ma'am, no, sir. In case you don't know what disrupt means, it means to tear down systems, structures, lies, beliefs, ideologies. That is what disrupt means. I am a disruption to your system. You ain't gonna kill nobody else on my watch. You ain't gonna harm nobody else's children on my watch. Ain't nobody gonna be poor on my watch that don't want to be poor on my watch. Period, point blank. And that's going to be my vindication. So I want you to understand that anything that I have for the last 6 years, and when I keep saying this, because this is my reality. On the day my son died, I still was on live. No, not saying, hey, y'all come and work, okay? No. But I was on live giving God the glory. And I was letting everybody know I wasn't going down. I was letting everybody know, I'm not going down. Yeah, this hurt like hell. Yeah, this hurt real bad. But I'm not going down. And not only am I not going down, I'm not letting the devil take y'all down. Ooh, I was pissed off. And I still am. Because y'all don't understand. This is my lick back. In the physical realm, it's the system I'm after. In the spiritual realm, I came to disrupt and demolish the devil's kingdom. Period, point blank. I destroy hell for a living. Do you understand me? I destroy hell for a living. And that is why he has used these systems to try to stop me. This is bigger than what you can see. This is spiritual. Oh, I can't get her to go down. I know the very kids that she coveted with God. If I can get them in rebellion and I can touch their lives, I can get an open door and I can touch their lives, I will take her out and I will stop her assignment because I know her assignment. I came in this bad boy knowing my assignment. My grandmother written it down at the age of 2, and y'all know you got to be real smart. At the age of 2, what you gonna be when you grow up? I'm gonna own my own business, and all y'all gonna work with me and for me. The hate was on, even in my own family. When you read biblical stories, that ain't just for fairy tale or for everybody in my family. What? Oh, they hated it. And I love my grandmother. I love my grandmother to pieces. When she was getting ready to die, she had it written in her book. She had it written in her book. Tawana said at 2 years old, she was going to start her own business and we was going to work for her. I'm going to start my business and my daughter's going to be a part of my business. My grandson's going to be a part of my business. His baby mama going to be a part of my business. Guess who wasn't going to be a part of that business? Me! Y'all don't know the suffering. Oh, you don't know the suffering. You don't know the suffering. The suffering. Imagine being born in a world where you, shut up to one. I'm going to come back later, okay? It's time for me to talk. And that's why I'm pivoting. It's time for me to speak. I'm an author of 2 books and I've never even promoted my books to y'all. Trying to protect people. Okay? Always serving and helping others. And neglecting what God really is called to do, and that's to build. So I have a couple opportunities and I got to get up out of here, okay? I'm going to have to come back. But what I will say is in about maybe an hour to an hour and a half, if you still up, because this is my final call. I want to help you. I'm not here to hurt you, okay? I tell people all the time, if I was going anywhere, it would have been when I was hit the worst. If I wanted to bail out, I should have bailed out then. Okay? If I wanted to bail out, I should have bailed out when I had the opportunity. Hey, y'all, my son died. I'm out. Hey, y'all, my second son died. Yeah, I'm really out. If I was going to go anywhere, that would have been the primest time to go. I've been here serving so hard because I genuinely love God's people, and I cannot explain how his love is as strong for his people. And half of the people don't even want nothing to do with him. They'll go whoring after other idols, other gods, trying to figure out how to do it their way, and I just be like, I don't even know why you deal with these people. I really don't. It's undescribable. There's been so many times like, nope, you can have them. I'm done with them. I'm over here bleeding and leading. Nah, get your people. No, they don't want nothing, God. These people are ignorant. I could never see the enemy coming to attack me, and I don't get prepared to attack back, to at least put up a fight. You're not finna come and take no more of my kids from me. You're not finna lock us down. You're not finna control what we get to eat, whether we would eat HGMO bugs, modified. The hell no. Whether we will be controlled and they put these kill switches in all your cars, and now the housing car market is having an issue, and they saying, look, for all of the people driving older cars, please come to the car lots and get the newer cars. We will give you the newer cars. You want to know why? Because they have controlling tracking devices in them. Oh, I love y'all, but I gotta go on. Y'all know I bring this to you. They're showing you what they're doing. I pulled it up on Google. Go and look for yourself. The government is mandating that all vehicles model 2026 and up have kill switches. in 2027 have tracking devices. If you do any type of sudden movement, or you not engaged on the road, or you telling your kid to stop, or you trying to put food in your mouth, they can disable your vehicle. That's too much control. That they want to get rid of cell phones, okay, and give us wearables. Hell no. Ain't nothing going in my or under my flesh at all. I'm willing to lay my life down for that. Nothing is going in or on my flesh that God didn't already put in. And I don't care, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, I don't care about you demons. I'm sent today by God, okay, on a purpose for his people. And you're going to let his people go, or he will destroy this country. And the unfortunate part about it is, you will be destroyed if you don't come out of it. Come out of her, my people, lest you receive of her sins, and share in her plagues. Come out of her. God knows the way. He said, I will make a way of escape. We should be building communities with each other. We should be buying up land while we can, and building communities, and protecting and providing for ourselves, so we don't need to buy, sell, or trade in your system, because we have created our own. My time is up. I love y'all. At the end of the day, I have always loved y'all. I didn't even get to the mentorships, okay? But trust and believe, when the Ruach HaKodesh, the Spirit of God, is speaking to you. And you know what's the saddest part about it all? Because it mentions this in Ezekiel either 8 or 9. When the Lord removes his people from his people, you in trouble. See, to everything, there is a time and a season. And they got this old cliche, when the students are ready, the teacher appears. God has given us a lot of time. And I'm not the only watchman, okay? I'm not the only watchman. I want you to know this first and foremost. Before I even picked up this endeavor, I prayed for 1 year. And the people that prayed with me can testify. And if you really want to go back on my Facebook, okay? That's where I was at, on my Facebook, praying, crying. Lord, the stuff that you're showing me is so overwhelming that it's going to come, and I will come to the internet and say, hey, look, this is what's going to happen. And then I said, God, I know. You didn't save my life. I know you ain't finna let us go out like that. And it was not a selfish prayer. Me and my family. I saw through the lens of love and said, what about your people? Now the evildoers rain brimstone and fire down on them. I don't care. Listen, I don't care. I despise wicked people. I pray that those wicked people repent, but I despise wicked people. I despise people who harm people. I despise people who are greedy and full of vile and evil and wickedness, and you would take advantage of people and you would harm people. I despise people like that. So, yeah, let it rain on them. But I know, God, you is not finna let us go out like that. I prayed for a year because I didn't know what to do. I didn't graduate high school. I got a GED. I went to a trade school and became a medical CNA, okay? And I love God. Served his people, served the homeless on Skid Row, served in the community, served everybody. That's it. I sold dope, okay? I was real street smart. Other than that, I ain't had no background, no degree, no nothing, okay? He showed me the blueprint. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, and people misquote this scripture. They got people thinking, oh, it's a gift. Your gift will make room for you and take you amongst great men. People be like, oh, that singing gift brought you to now the voice. Oh, that dancing gift put you on these big stages. Oh, that artist gift put you in Italy. No, that ain't the gift God's talking about. He showed me one principle in his word. A man's gift. And so I had to go break that word down to see what it meant in its original text. And when he showed me that key, I was like, man, if I go to the bank and I say, hey, I am requesting to see the bank owner, the CEO of the bank. I want to see them right now. I want to meet with them. They're going to be like, excuse me, who do you think you are? If you don't get in that line and talk to a teller or one of them bank representatives and don't waste my time talking about you want to meet with the bank CEO, okay? And they would do the same to you. However, if I go up in there dressed down the same way I am and say, I'm requesting to meet with the bank CEO and I need to meet with him ASAP, I'll wait for him wherever he at. I have a $100 million check that I'm investing with the bank, and I refuse to give it to anybody else except the CEO. Baby, they will roll out the red carpet. Do you understand me? Put me in a private room. If he is in Hong Kong, they will fly him on a first class private jet. Do you understand me? To come pick up that gift. A man's gift will make room for them and take them amongst the great. So when God gave me that revelation, he said, first person you're going to make contact with is Grant Cardone. He know that real estate, and I want you to take back territory in real estate, in land. I want you to learn that once you learn that, you break the back of poverty. When you own assets, you break the back of poverty. It's not a lot of money that you have. It's when you own ownership assets, you break the back of poverty. It costs $50,000. And I didn't want to just go to a regular webinar where everybody else was asking the same question. Can I get your digit? No. I needed direct access. I want to know what you did. And I want to get access to all your contacts, access to all your strategies, your framework, how you get there, do deals with you. I want you to teach me how much that cost. $50,000. I showed y'all the receipts. $50,000. I paid that $50,000 and made $300,000. I'm like, oh snap. The game that he gave me, no. A man's gift will make room for you and take you amongst great people. So people wonder how I got to great people. Let me get VIP, please. 101, please. I don't care how much it costs. Because you're going to give everybody out there general information, but because I paid my gift to see you, you're going to see me and you're going to do me right. I love y'all, okay? I will be back here later. I hope something that I said stuck. When I come back, it's going to be all about business. I'm not going to give y'all no more testimony time and all that. You guys will get to know more about me because I will be releasing clips and trailers about what I'm doing moving forward. But I promise y'all, I got some opportunities that will change your life overnight. And I gave y'all a very deep discounted prices. If you are interested in that, then you'll sacrifice and stay up about an hour and a half because that's all it's going to take me to come back. Okay, with that being said, I love y'all and I will see y'all in a moment.